by the way. According to a Thomas survey of 878 North American manufacturers and industrial sector businesses, 64% say they are likely to bring manufacturing, production, and sourcing back to North America. But it's not as easy as it sounds. Joining us to talk about it is Randy Moore, the CEO of ZAF Energy Systems, or is it ZAF Energy Systems, Randy?
No, you're right. It's ZAF Energy Systems.
All right, just want to make sure we got it right for you here. So what sectors in particular are difficult to bring back? We used to have a ton of manufacturing in this country, but, a lot of it went away, and I'm guessing you got to restart a lot of these facilities in order to bring some of these different companies back.
You do, but things have changed since a lot of these jobs went over to China in the 70s and 80s, and things have really changed, since the turn of the century, and automation has really come along quite a bit. Things that we thought would be difficult to automate are now completely automatable, and that's changing. That's really one of several factors that's changing to allow these jobs to come back.
Well, it sounds though like bringing the manufacturing back does not necessarily bring back jobs if you're going to be using a lot of automation.
No, it does bring back jobs. It brings back what I would call the higher end jobs that aren't necessarily, they're not college degree requiring, but you have to have somebody who knows how to make the robots run. Somebody who knows how to how to fix the robots. Somebody who knows the planning process for the logistics of the materials that the robots use to make products with, and all of these functions are higher paying jobs than your typical touch labor factory assemblers.
And all these factories need the energy in order to operate, so you get that bundle down effect, don't you?
Absolutely.
And the construction jobs along with it, I'm guessing, right? Some construction jobs in order to build out these facilities.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'll give you an example. I mean, I hadn't heard your survey that you just mentioned, but I had heard a similar survey of American companies doing business in China a year ago. None of them planned to bring any jobs back to the U.S., and now they just did a survey, and 20% of the companies actually have plans in place. Companies who have plants in China plan to bring those jobs home, bring those plants back into the United States. We make batteries at ZAF Energy Systems, and our batteries are made out of nickel and zinc. And so our nickel hydroxide comes through China. It comes from places like Australia, and it gets barged up to China as basically dirt, and China turns it into nickel hydroxide. 80% of the battery materials in the world go through China. And so we've done an analysis, and we believe that we can lower the cost of our nickel hydroxide by bringing that manufacturing onshore. Australia is a very friendly country to us. The Philippines is another. Indonesia, all of these countries that have nickel ore, we can process that nickel ore in the United States and save about 40 to 50% of our nickel content cost in our battery.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the Chinese went out and bought rare earth minerals all around the world. They cornered the market on it while we just kind of played politics instead of playing business,
Absolutely, and that's one of their strategies. They do look to corner the market, and then they drive prices down so far that nobody else can play. And then they slowly raise the prices back to a market normal so that they can actually make some money. And when that happens, now you're in a position where it's not necessarily the price that you're paying is the factor. It's that they're the only source. And during the early days of the coronavirus, we actually had a work slowdown because we could not get our nickel hydroxide.
Well, and we've seen a lot of dangerous things because of what drug manufacturing and all the things that go along with that as well. So glad to hear that maybe more of these jobs are coming back to us. Randy, thank you. Appreciate it. The CEO of ZAF Energy Systems, Randy Moore, here on Newsradio 740 KTRH.